morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning, family? I hope everything going well for you. As you can see, I'm on the road again. That's nothing new. I'm always doing something, huh? Well, I wanted to share something with you all this morning. I had an incident that happened over the week. You know, sometimes in life it would appear that you have people around you, and instead of trying to put something positive, you know, and upbuilding in your life, it would appear that their whole perception of things, their goal in their relationship with you is to cause you difficulty. Now, I'm not making a distinction. Friends, family members, acquaintances, we talking about everybody that fit into this category. It would appear that their whole intent in being involved with you is to pull out of you the worst. So we had a little incident. And in my opinion, the incident could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. Because here's the thing. A lot of time when people put boundaries in place, the reason why they put boundaries in place is because they're telling those who they associate with, their friends, their family members, workmates, schoolmates, whatever the case may be, they're saying that this is as far as I'm willing to go in this particular instance, and I'm not going any further. So now, why is that important? It's important because when you cross people's boundaries that they've set, whether they're realistic or unrealistic, when you cross people's boundaries, then the response that you get is going to be negative. That's something that should be understood. You cross somebody's boundary, they set a boundary. They saying, okay, look, this is as far as I'm going to go. And then somebody, without regard for what that other person feels or thinks, just cross over that boundary. Now you finna get a reaction that you're not going to like. You finna get one. And so this particular instance that I was involved in, like I said, I thought it could have been prevented if people in general would just respect other people's boundaries. And I say that also too because a lot of time people set boundaries up because of past dealings with you. Maybe there was a business deal that y'all was involved in and it went south. Maybe there's some character traits about you that person just can't stomach. That's fine. That's fine. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. When it comes to those boundaries that a person set, respect them. Respect them. You want to go on with life, and enjoy yourself. You want to go on and have a productive time. You got to learn to respect people's boundaries. Because really, the interactions that you have, that's what you would want. You would want to feel respected. You would want the other person to feel respected. I don't think that's too much to ask. But anyway, getting back to the situation, after everything transpired, I went to talk to one of my very, very close mentors. Now, matter of fact, I call this man Dad. Because when I came to Ole Miss to go to school, get my degree, this man and his wife made sure that I was okay. I can remember on Sundays going over to their home and bringing back so much food to the dorm that I had enough to share with my friends. That's how much they cared about me. That's how well they took care of me. But anyway, I went to talk to him about the situation. And of course, he's very straightforward. That's the reason why me and him get along so well. He didn't hold any punches. He said, listen, you're wrong. You're wrong. He said, the way that you reacted in that particular situation, you could have done better. Right? So now, as far as my boundaries with him, it's a little different because he's an older gentleman. He's twice my age. So when he's talking, I'm listening. I make sure that I pay attention because in every instance that I've dealt with him and came to him for advice and wisdom, he never let me down. So I'm listening to him. And I took in what he said. But now here's the thing. Even though I respect that advice that he gave me, I had to look at things a little bit differently because when you set a boundary for yourself with a particular person, you're doing it so that you can protect yourself. Because evidently, if an individual does not respect the boundaries that you done put in place, they don't respect you. So now that's the thinking that I came up with. So I guess what I'm saying this morning is respect people's boundaries, man. Respect people's boundaries. You as an individual, there are certain things about your life experience that you want people to look at and respect, right? There are certain things, let's say for instance, I'll give you this example. Let's say for instance, and I use myself. Let's say for instance I was an alcoholic, right? I used to be an alcoholic, so I kicked the habit. So when I'm talking to you, you're a friend of mine, and I say, look, man, I don't want to be around it. You know, I can't deal with the smell of it. I can't do it. What kind of friend would you be if I'm around you and you bring out liquor, or you bring out wine, or you bring out something that could quite possibly or restart that habit for me? What kind of friend would you be? See, in that instance, it would be necessary to respect that person's boundary. He told you he can't go no further than that. Why not just allow him to do what he said he was going to do? You want him to be well. You want him to have a productive life. Then help him out with that. So it's the same way, I think, with a lot of things, a lot of difficulties that we have, interpersonal difficulties between each other. If I respected your boundaries and you respected my boundaries, our friendship could flourish. We wouldn't have any difficulties when it came to small things. Now, we would have to talk about major issues, of course, but the small things, the basic things, we wouldn't have difficulty with that. And so that's what I think. And I think that's part of manhood too, to be honest with you. Respecting other individuals' boundaries, because in the long run, you want everybody around you to flourish. You want everybody to have what they want in life. And the only way you can get that, I don't care what anybody said, the only way you can get that is by working together. And in instances where you can't work along with a person, then the best thing might be to part company with that person. And I'm not saying part company with animosity or hatred, carrying that around with you, no, just part company. Because at all costs, I got to preserve my peace. I have to. And so after I talked with my mentor, after I talked to Dad, he told me a couple of things I needed to work on. And so that's what I'm going to do, because I'm about improvement. I'm about doing better. Because he saw the situation from another vantage point. He said, well, look, you know, you could do better. And I take that to heart. I take that to heart because he's been alive on this planet, as I mentioned, twice as long as I have. He's seen many things. And one thing he is very, very good at. He's very good at diagnosing situations and telling me how it is that I could become better as a man. And that's what I want. Manhood is never something that you reach absolutely, but it's something that you can continue to work on. And you can do it. You can get it. It's no problem. But now, like I mentioned, if you run into individuals, man, you've known these people for a long time, and they refuse to respect your boundaries, then part ways with them, man. Part ways. Because, see, I'm going to tell you, and this is what was so alarming to Dad when I talked to him about it. That particular instance brought the worst out in me. I couldn't even see straight after that. My heart rate elevated. My body got tense. The last time I remember my body being that tense is I was going to max out in squatting, working out. Heart rate went up. Body became tense because you know the situation is about to be one that's going to be a difficult one. But why am I having this kind of reaction to this person? It's because this person has been known not to respect my boundaries. And see, here's the thing about men. It might not be the case with women, and it could be. I can't speak for them. But with men, after you disrespect my boundaries enough times, then there's the threat of violence. Now, of course, y'all know me. Y'all know I'm not for that kind of situation. You know, I'm more about peace and productivity and moving forward. But in some cases, if you don't make your stance clear, then people feel like they can walk on you. Now, even though I'm about positivity and peace and all that stuff, I'm not for you being the floor mat. I'm not about that. I'm not about that at all. I'm not about anybody being taken advantage of in situations where they don't have to. Somebody don't value you, they don't value your opinion, they don't value your presence, then remove yourself. You ain't got to be around them folk. And then when they come around you and bring it to you, feel free to tell that person to keep on going. That's what I mean by respecting boundaries. So after all that was over with, man, I had some time to sit down and think about it. And it prompted me to do this particular live this morning. I'm for positivity, I'm for peace, I'm for individuals getting along and having good relationships. I'm for building. But at the same time, you got to recognize that at some point in life, you're going to run into a person, and that person going to test you to the extreme. And when they do, it's okay to set a boundary with that individual. It's okay to say, listen, I ain't going no further with you, man. I don't have no animosity or no hatred with you, but I'm not going any further with you. The rest of this you can do on your own. And see, like I said, it's up to you to protect your peace, your own mental health. That's up to you. Because if you allow situations to happen that affect you negatively, how can you blame somebody else? You can't blame them. You can't point the finger at that guy when you're not doing what's necessary to protect yourself. Like I mentioned now, I'm for positivity. And I think it's a positive action on your part to protect yourself. Because think about all the people that need you. Think about that for a second. And think about this situation continuing to happen, and finally something happens that breaks you and you're not able to provide the things that you need for yourself and your family. So you got to set boundaries, man. Set them, stick to them, because there are individuals out there, man. Not only do they not care about you as a person, they don't care about you as a person, and they don't care about your livelihood. They'd rather not see you accomplish the things that you're doing. They'd rather that you not be positive. And see, we can't have that. We can't have it, because that's what life is about. You can look at it as a glass half full or half empty. That's on you. And for me, I'm looking at it half full. And anybody who got a different perception, then we might go bump heads about it. But it's okay. It's all right. Well, like I said, man, y'all, that was a rough situation. It was. And the situation has been ongoing, man. I don't understand why it's a difficulty involved where an individual don't see that there are boundaries that's there, and they just decide to do what they want. Oh well, no big deal. That particular instance is over. We'll wait for the next one. But now that's the thought for this morning, man. Set your boundaries. There's nothing wrong with it. Set your boundaries, man. You got to protect your peace and your happiness. You got to protect those things. That's up to you. And don't let people try to make you feel bad about setting boundaries and then sticking to them. Don't, cause as far as you're concerned, we're not telling you to be selfish, but be concerned about yourself. It's okay to have a concern for yourself that's not exorbitant or not over the top. A natural concern for yourself, there's nothing wrong with it. Because if you're not concerned with yourself, once again, you're not going to take care of your needs. And if you don't take care of your needs, then who's going to do it? That's just accountability for you. But now I got a TV a lady want me to throw on the wall for her. So I'm going to go ahead and do that if y'all don't mind. Look, man, as I always say, man, do something positive this week. You do something positive, and something positive going to come back to you. And I guarantee you it's going to come back better than when you send it out. All right, man. Love y'all. Y'all have a good week. Be productive, man. Peace.